1 month ago, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves lifted his state's mask mandate and started allowing businesses to operate at full capacity. And he's here now with an update on the situation in Mississippi. The governor there, Governor Reeves. Thank you for being here. So how has it been going? You open things up a lot more. You get rid of some of the restrictions. What has happened to your state's COVID numbers since?
When I made that decision over a month ago, we had reached our peak at 2,400 cases on a daily basis on a running 7-day average. Yesterday, we reported 220 cases per day on a 7-day moving average. If you look at our hospitalizations, they have continued to decline rapidly. We went from a peak of 1,444 hospitalizations in our state down to less than 220 yesterday. ICU beds also plummeted. Total number of Mississippians on ventilators under 70 yesterday. So the fact is the vaccinations are going well here and really across the country. And because of that, more and more of my fellow Mississippians and more Americans are immune to the virus, and that's a really good thing for America.
You mentioned the vaccinations, and your state, I guess, ranks pretty low in terms of the percentage of the adult population fully inoculated, somewhere around 14%, and I believe that's, I think, in the bottom 5, at least in the country. Why is that in your state? Is it a matter of people there wanting the vaccine? Is it supply?
We have a very large African-American population. We have a lot of rural people in our state, and both of those categories of individuals are less likely to take the virus at this time. We've got to educate them, and we're working really hard to do so.
And Governor, I want to ask you about one other thing. You got some national attention for Senate Bill 2536. This essentially bars trans kids, trans women, trans girls from competing in designated girls' sports in colleges and schools in your state. I want to ask first, and I know the message you were trying to send, like you said, to girls in the state, that they would have a fair, they could have a fair shake when they're competing. And you think that possibly a trans girl would have some kind of just naturally physical advantage. So the question is, first, is this an issue in your state? Is there any case of this happening and someone's complaining of a trans girl competing? Because some say this is a solution in search of a problem.
Right. Well, first of all, I never imagined that I'd be sitting here talking to you or anybody else about this issue. And but for the fact that President Biden, in one of his first actions as president, that he instituted an executive order which mandated certain things for biological males. And in our state, I have heard from many coaches, I've heard from many school administrators, and they're very concerned about that. And so I have 3 daughters, TJ. One's 16, one's 14, and one's 9. And in this country, we have fought for years and years to ensure equal opportunity for female athletes. I believe, and I believe it's very true, and I believe that most Americans believe that if you allow biological males to compete on the athletic field with biological females, then biological females are going to be put at a disadvantage. They're going to have less opportunities for success, and they're going to have less opportunities for things like athletic scholarships and beyond. And so while it's certainly not a topic that I envisioned ever talking about, our legislature passed a piece of legislation, as you mentioned. I signed it into law, but we only are having this conversation because of the actions of the executive order by the president as one of the first things that he did upon taking office.
But again, I think I hear you right that it's not necessarily come up as an issue in your state. You talk about President Biden there, but do you consider a trans girl a girl?
I believe if you are a biological male, you are a biological male.
So no, a trans girl is not a girl in your mind?
I believe that a biological male is a biological male and that they should not be competing with biological females for athletic opportunities at the high school level.
And I understand you talked about your daughters there, and talking as a dad, certainly people can understand that. Do you worry about the message that's sent maybe to the transgender community, and maybe a transgender kid in school there maybe doesn't even want to compete in sports and feels like this type of legislation targets him or her in an unfair way?
Well, this legislation is not intended to target anyone in an unfair way. It is a way in which to ensure that biological females have opportunities on the athletic field, which ultimately will lead to them to opportunities for scholarships and other things at the collegiate level and beyond.
Well, Governor Reeves, we appreciate the updates, certainly, and we'd love to talk to and hear any news about any state with COVID numbers going down. So certainly hope those continue to go that direction. And again, on SB 2536, that conversation will continue, I'm sure, and we look forward to seeing you down the road, all right?
Thanks, TJ. Have a great day.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.